Folks, hello and welcome to, I was about to say Tavern Chat, but actually it is Gamers Health. I am Rach Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. With me, the mermaid lady herself. I just told her before we went live, I go, Rach, you just washed your hair. You got that look from the movie Splash, the mermaid look. So, with me, my favorite mermaid, the one, the only, Richard. TXG, thank you. Hello. So, we got many things to talk about. We also, believe it or not, will have a guest in June that is doing an actual book tour. He wrote a book uh, that's going to be coming out about using RPGs, role playing games,
for therapeutic purposes, like in psychotherapy.
Yeah,
So,
amazing
in essence,
stuff.
like play therapy for adults.
So, this is going to be really cool. He reached out to us. I feel really happy about that. We're going to set that up for probably the
Exciting.
last half of June. I believe the book releases in June, the last half. So we're going to try to time it all. But we're becoming like movers and shakers, or in my case, barely moving, but sometimes shaking. And uh, and I will say, if I sound like shit,
You sound actually better.
my last night I finally I gave in and I slept in the recliner because I knew the angle would be better. I could prop myself up in the bed and the angle will let me when my sinuses drain, but it doesn't support my shoulder properly. And you know, sure that pain can become background noise, but it wasn't becoming background noise quick enough. Don, hello.
Hello.
Um, Terry, good to see you. Um, yeah, RPGs as therapy is going to be a really interesting thing.
Like I could see that being really good for like so many people, but like in particular, like a population of veterans and stuff. I think they might use it in the VA at certain places. I wonder what the literature review would be like
I don't know.
for that.
No, that's a good question.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. It'll give us about a little bit over a month for us to prep,
Yeah.
get our questions ready, get all that stuff going. So I think it's going to be a good time. But that's going to be later half of June. So before then, we'll probably have one or two other guests come in. Remember, first Saturday of June is North Texas. We will do something from North Texas. It will certainly, I don't know, be some crazy, wacky format. We don't quite
I'm
know.
quite sure.
I'm quite sure. By the way, I broke out my Rachel's picking dice off the floor. Hey, at least this isn't a D4. Um, I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt, basically, right? My spring attire. I used to get mocked when I would wear this to work. It was an administrative position. I was supposed to wear a button-down shirt, and I said nobody said I had to be with a tie, so I would come in wearing some Hawaiian shirt. Rach, your feet can stop picking up dice, please. They gotta run out of the room. Oh, stop it! I can hear your feet with the dice.
They're just there until
Old men rolling dice. Welcome.
just
Stop.
grabbing with our toes.
Stop, Rachel. Stop. So part of the reason why I am wearing a Hawaiian shirt is it's springtime, and you wouldn't have known it from the past couple of days, which were a lot cooler. But
And
today,
rainy and gray and
yeah, but today hit the 70s in New York, and I was like, all right. We last week. My God, Rach, your feet. We'll get to your feet
Well,
later.
I don't know what was there, but
I know what
I was sort of reaching for the cushion.
In any case,
Sorry.
last week we went to Stu Leonard's up. My sister was out in Long Island, and because Stu had uh, flats of vegetables, lettuce, and all that stuff, and a lot cheaper than going to places like Home Depot. Home Depot wanted like anywhere from $3 to $4.50 a plant, and here we were getting flats with 6 plants.
But guess what, guys? Ours grew
Yeah,
into
$4 plants over the last week.
$5 plants
over the last week. So we got two. We got 2 6-packs of various lettuce, which we'd already picked up some more earlier more expensive prices. Yellow peppers, red peppers, and then 4 6-packs of tomatoes. 2 early girl, 1 not quite as early, and I think big boy. So we have stuff planted. We have a few more tomato plants.
Oh, it's called Fantastic.
Fantastic. That's right. That's the not quite or the early-ish.
Oh, that's what the earliest one is?
Those are the earliest ones. So I'm sending my sister home or sending her home today with an assortment of 6 tomato plants. But it's exciting. We planted this like we have earth boxes. We have a garden. We have grass. We have dirt, but I have a raised bed in the back, and we have earth boxes, which are mostly self-watering and self-weeding for most of our vegetables. We are not quite finished with what we're going to plant, but you got to get into the right mood, right? You can't go out there and I mean, I guess you could go gardening in a golf shirt, but just wearing your Hawaiian shirt just kind of makes it a little bit more. And it's not
a little more special.
It's not a loud Hawaiian shirt. I do own some of those too. Not as loud as some of the ones that Luke Gygax wears. I gotta say, or Bill Webb, but you know, I can aspire to some time in my life. Oh, I do have the D20.
You do that one that you wore to North Texas.
Yes, I have.
And I think you had a hat to match.
I think I do. Oh my God!
Now you just need sneakers.
No, I'm not gonna. Especially not to North Texas. North Texas, I just wear sandals. Okay. You know, because how cold is it gonna get in North Texas? It might drop into the 80s if you're lucky.
Well, you might want to go on the treadmill in there.
Yeah, probably not. Okay. When I'm on vacation, me and exercise, I'll get enough of my steps in walking back and forth in that hotel. Okay. And going out for food. Maybe. Oh, actually, no, everybody's driving fast stuff. So, in any case,
yeah, nobody walks anywhere in Texas.
No, nobody. Because it's too damn hot. So now I have been fighting a cold off at least since I guess last weekend. I thought it was allergies. Now I'm going to say it's probably a bit of both. But last night again, slept in a recliner. Got solid sleep. I'd rather sleep next to my wife, but if I'm getting up every 20 to 30 minutes to cough and hack up a hairball, she doesn't need to have to be woken up throughout the night with it. This way we both got a good night's sleep. If I had stayed with Rach, neither one of us would have had a good night's sleep. Stop sulking. So I said stop sulking. You get that like so there. Hey, wait, stop it. So before we hit like some of the topics that we actually listed on the show's tags, I guess, our lead-in. I had my 3 months check-in with Mr. Gunn. Mr. Gunn snuck into the room. So I had my usual 3-month checkup routine visit with my cardiologist, and I have routine visits with so many doctors. When I had cancer, I was like, oh, I gotta see my my chemotherapist every 2 weeks, and radiation was every day for like a month and a half. But now I've got regular doctors I see every 3 months, and it blows my mind to a large extent. But my cardiologist, God bless him, he walked in, his attitude is always great, and he's just like, love those legs. Because when he first saw me, I was about 50
his
pounds. His
legs were like that.
Yeah, they were.
I mean,
yeah, they were not good. He's like, oh, love those legs. And he's like, what's going on? I told him, like, I got congestion. I go, I think it's allergies. He listened to my lungs, my chest. No problem. So at least I know it's like, it's not settling in anywhere where it shouldn't.
You sound less congested than you did.
Well, I've been coughing less today. Yeah. So, and when I do cough, it actually brings it up, and when I blow my nose, it actually gets stuff out. But it's a pain in the ass. It's part of the season. I understand that. It still doesn't mean it's not a pain in the ass.
We'll get his sunshine tea tonight, so and avoid like. Well, you already had the cheese sauce.
I hate the cheese sauce. We had wings from Wingstop. Well, actually, we had chicken sandwiches from Wingstop. We got wings for later, but Yeah, no, I had the cheese sauce because I didn't know I could get a cheese sauce until the last part in the app. And then I was like, oh, there's a cheese sauce. Let me try the cheese sauce. So I had all the cheese sauce.
But we'll avoid further dairy.
Yes.
So we'll give you the essentials. It's clear, you know.
Oh, okay.
The tea.
Okay. So, one thing I did do at my doctor's appointment was I changed a lot of my prescriptions from my union's prescription plan, which requires mail order for generics, to my local pharmacy. And it cost me more up front, but in the long run, it's going to cost me less because,
your other more expensive patent
right,
medications can be
right,
diverted through
that. Like my ezetimibe was, I don't know, 3 months was like $14. But they charge my plan $35 a month if I fill it with now. That's great. If you average person is never going to reach their max, and they can charge what they want, and it's no big deal. But when you are somebody like me who has 3 medications that are under patent, and they're charging the plan a couple of $100 a month for each of them, you blow through your allotted $7,000 maximum benefit before your 12 months are out. I'd rather pay a little bit more up front to save a lot more on the end, keep my benefits running longer. So that we mentioned this a couple of weeks ago about how you have to balance this stuff out, and I'm learning I got to balance. So catching up on the chat because I've been a yap. We're doing well, Mr. Gunn, except for my sinuses, but they're doing better. Okay, this small chat. TXG, your colonoscopy is not a small chat. God bless you.
Indeed.
This coming Friday. Friday we have our endocrinologist.
Thursday.
One of those 2 days. I don't know.
Which is the 12th.
The 12th is
Friday.
It's Friday.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have my phone right
here. Today's the 6th. So, we got our endocrinologist. So. That's painless. I like Arendo. I like all my doctors, and it's rare to say.
Yeah, I like them all too.
You know, they're actually pretty good. They have great bedside manner. Really, really does help. I'm not watching the Royals. Couldn't care. I'm glad that they exist to some extent, so we can have like a royal family. I'm glad I'm American. It means nothing to me. But if I was like British, you know,
I had to pay for them.
I probably appreciate them more. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Or you'd be more resentful. Because you just had to pay for them to like live.
All right,
like,
so
a lot of luxury.
So now, Rach, you're married to a cop, so I'm gonna ask you if this reminds you of anything that I've told you about. TXG. I saw someone mowed a penis into the grounds of one of the coronation sites.
Oh, wow.
Now
that does sound like a cop.
Yes, it does. Because so now
maybe that's what they do worldwide, not just here in New York or America.
It's not just American cops that cock a book, right? Yeah, everybody. So for those that don't know, this was a big thing, especially in the late 90s, early aughts. My book as a sergeant never got dicked, but as a cop, you'd be going through your activity log, right? You're making your notes in it, and you have the one side is lined pages, and the back side is blank, so you can make other notes or diagrams as you need them. But it doesn't have to be in chronological order as your line stuff does. And if you weren't paying attention, somebody would often draw a dick into one of your white pages. So when your supervisor is scratching your book and they're flipping through your book to get to your last page, they say, why did you draw a penis in your book? And you never drew the penis in your book, right? Well, then the job went to self-carbonating tickets, summonses.
Oh, the triplicate pad.
Well, because it used to be you had carbonation in there. So when you had the carbonation, if somebody went and dicked your summons, you saw it, right? So once you went to self-carbonating, you didn't see it until you went to distribute copies to the driver. because you're writing on the summons and it has a copy for the original copy, then you have a copy for the officer, a copy for the driver, a copy for the precinct. There's like 4 or 5 copies. So you could dick the front one, the original, with the back of a pen or a key or a handcuff, key if you have one of the buff ones.
Just any point.
Any point. And it wouldn't show on the front. So you do that and you go to rip out your copy for the driver, and you see that on their summons is a penis. And now you got to go back and
do
try.
It over?
No, you couldn't do it over, because then you'd have to. You would likely get a command discipline for unsecuring your not having secure property, for allowing somebody to get your book and dick it, because they can't find the dicker, but they do find the dicky. So you'd have to make the penis into something that didn't quite look like a penis. So you're giving a summons that you always have to tell people, okay,
just ignore that penis.
Yeah, it was just, oh my God, part of the.
No, it was meant to sexually harass me, not you.
Yeah, it's all about me. I'm not calling you a dick. They're calling me a dick. Shadow and Sun, welcome. And TXG, yeah, I wouldn't trade your colonoscopy for an endocrinologist appointment.
Oh no.
It's okay, man. It's okay. You keep that. You keep that shit, yo. You keep that shit.
Yeah, we'll have our day where.
Yeah. Don, the Mysterious Dicker. Sounds like a good detective novel. So, it's a phallic crop circle. Kind of impressive. I can imagine it. I've seen many a drawn dick where it didn't belong, so I can certainly see how this is. So, Rach, as I go and I turn my body to clean out my sinuses a little bit, you today did a different kind of a workout.
Yeah, so I was taught today about a workout called they call it Met-Cod, and it is short for metabolic conditioning. So I was given an experiential sort of run through of what that's like. In some ways, it's like a HIIT workout, the
high intensity training.
Yeah, the high intensity interval training.
Oh, okay.
But it's similar in the way that you have to move from one thing to the next very quickly, and that there's a short period where you are just working harder than usual, sort of trying to work toward your max, and then you work 45 seconds at that, and then you go to 15 seconds of rest, and then you start your next thing, and you keep going like that for maybe 4 or 5 exercises, and then you have a minute of rest. Rest is never you're just standing there laying there. It's rest, you're still moving so that your heart rate is not reducing to the point that you have to get it back going again. And so it's meant to help people increase their metabolism, and also to help with endurance, among other things. I still learning more about it, but it was the first time a few weeks ago my friend had said was talking about it, and I was like, oh, what's that? I've never heard of that. Met-Cod. And so she was able to show me today what it was. The difference between the Met-Cod and the HIIT workouts is really during HIIT workouts, your heart rate has to be in a certain zone. And I think it's probably very rare for just regular people to get their heart rate into that place. Like if you're somebody who, like me, has been sort of ramping up, I think most of us probably do Met-Con instead of HIT because we're not able to get our heart rate into that zone easily, comfortably, or we might not be healthy enough to have it in that zone.
Or you medicated. You're medicated. You're not going to get into.
That too. Like if you're so medicated that tries your mind, you can't get the heart rate above I know sometimes I'll do my walks in the morning right after I've taken my medicine for hypertension, and the heart rate will still I'll be like, that's all, it's only 100 and it's only like 108, and meanwhile it's higher, and I know I'm working and I'm sweating and panting,
right?
But I'm working harder than that, or if I was doing it in the evening when my medicine is sort of leaving my system, it goes higher then. So, I guess, it depends on the person, but that's the difference between the two of them. And yeah, it was really great. I really enjoyed, being able to do that. I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, you think I'm ready to do this? That I could have the endurance now to, be able to stay with it and, still be okay and comfortable. And not comfortable because working out isn't always it's not comfortable. There's things that often we find uncomfortable, like sweating and panting, and the way our breath becomes isn't always comfortable for us, but it's just one of those byproducts of giving your heart that workout.
No, it's beneficial in the end.
Or like all these things that are that you would expect from exercise, but because exercise was something that was not part of my life for years and years and years, and never was, even from very young. It's you don't. It can be uncomfortable,
Right?
Or you'd be like, oh, I really want to avoid that at all costs, and you use your body sometimes in incorrect ways so that you don't have to experience those things.
So, RPG Grandma, you have to develop the stamina and endurance to get into the zone.
Yes.
And maintain it for cardio.
Yes.
Like my cardio is shot right now while I recover from the long-term lung issues.
Oh, sure.
However, progress is happening, but when I do TKD, oh my gosh, so difficult compared to what I could do before.
Okay. Yeah.
And Mr. Gunn, by the way, wants to know, Rach, are those meds legal in New York? These are prescription meds.
They're legal all across America.
Yeah. And now weed has been decriminalized.
Yeah, weed is definitely decriminalized, and actually state sanctioned. We have dispensaries, we have state sanctioned I guess grow-ops.
Yeah, but now, for the grow-ops, you get to the front of the line if you were previously convicted and served time for a marijuana offense. So if you spent 6 months in jail for selling marijuana at some point in your history, now we're going to give you legal means to sell marijuana.
It's a form of a reparation.
I don't believe it.
How do you call this?
It's bullshit. Sorry. Yeah. You can call it what you want. It's still shit in a cracker. God damn it. I'm just saying what I'm saying. So, but yeah, I was surprised because usually Rachel's workouts last. It's like, Rach, we got someplace to be, man. It's already 3:15. Come on, come on. I'm in the next. Rachel, you
right?
Yet?
So that's good. Another element of the Met-Con is that it is much shorter because the demands on your body is so high that you wouldn't want to expose your body to that for like a long time, for like a marathon, let's say.
A marathon. You're talking a marathon. So, all right. So now we're gonna bounce. As you all know, we bounce around a lot. So, RPG Grandma, Mr. Gunn is frustrating, but slowly I'm improving. The goal is to get well enough and have enough energy to do my evening TKD classes regularly. Nice.
Very cool.
So one of the topics we brought up was the Cirkul. Oh, that sounds like Sega, and I'm really showing my age by doing the Sega Genesis.
I don't remember that.
Oh, whenever you. Wow, our lights have been going a little wacky today. Our Alexa's been turning.
She's doing whatever she wants.
It's like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna just turn off Rachel's light. Alexa, turn on Rachel's lights. Alrighty then.
Thank you.
She turned them on earlier without being asked.
Did she turn it all the way on?
Yeah. So I have seen reviews of Cirkul both on
Cirkul and Air Up, right?
Right, both on freaking reviews. Great channel if you're on YouTube if you want to see somebody has seen on TV stuff. So the Cirkul interested me, but I was like, I spent how much money up front for a water bottle? It's like, I don't know. Well, we were at Walmart on Thursday, essentially killing time, and with our niece Shannon, and we saw, I guess, in one of the main aisles, one of the build-ups, and it had Cirkul, and it was $19.99. That seemed rather cheap to me, from what I can remember. And I looked on Amazon, and sure enough, on Amazon it was like $31, $32, and it comes with 2 flavor pods or whatever they call them. So I was like, all right, you know what? We'll grab that. We'll grab another 2 or 3 flavors. They're like $3.50 a piece. Shannon was all excited. She's like, "Oh, can we get back to my house?"
So she hijacked that first one.
Well, we get back to my house.
We said we gotta give this to her.
We get back to my house. I'll wash the bottle out. I'll wash it. And she did a great job. My God, and then she tried the first flavor with some ice water from her fridge, and her eyes got twice as wide. It was like, oh my God, this shit is good.
Mm-hmm.
And so it actually is. Now I don't know how cost effective it's going to be down the line. And I understand it's like, Eric, don't you have congestive heart failure? Shouldn't you be watching how much fluid you drink? At the same time, yes. And at the same time, I am on Farxiga, and Farxiga basically tells you that drink as much water as you pretty much can, because you're flushing out sugars, and if you don't flush out the sugars,
right, and you replace it for other things,
right? But if you don't flush out the sugars, you could get a yeast infection, which I'm sure it must be horrible if you're a woman to get a yeast infection. It makes it like 10 times more horrible in my mind for a man to get a yeast infection in that little place that we call, in
your urethra.
Yeah, that little thing. So I was like, all right. So and by the way, essentially, according to my cardiologist, if it wasn't for the fact that I have congestive heart failure, nobody would know that I have congestive heart failure. I don't have the signs for it. My heart's in the healthy range, which is why we do the daily walks. I've been guilty. I haven't gotten my walk time in or my exercise time in, but sinuses, it is what it is. But I'm not. I was before my congestive heart failure. I would probably drink, and this is easy. I would drink easily 110 to 128 ounces, so more than 3 quarts, sometimes a full gallon, mostly
before
the congestive heart.
Yeah,
before the congestive heart failure. So when they told me at the congestive heart failure, I'd have to limit myself to 2 quarts of water. I was like, what insanity is this shit? 2 quarts of water. I've got that down by lunchtime. Well, you know what? I also have my blood sugar under control. And by having my blood sugar under control, guess what? I'm not as thirsty. Because one of the side effects of having high blood sugar
is thirst, because your body's trying to kick the
you're
sugar out.
You're trying to flush that sugar out. So now I'm realizing I'm probably not even having 3 quarts of water on a given day. And I probably should be having a little bit more. So now the only thing I don't like about this is that you can't really drink it like
because the tab invades your nose.
The tab invades your nose, and it's not.
You have to just put the tab out aside.
And it's not a straw system. So this is the flavor.
Right. It's not like there's a straw that goes to the bottom, and you're sucking it up from the bottom. You have to like a bottle.
Right. So you got to.
Which I thought that doesn't bother me.
Right. So you got to take this. Ooh, white cherry. It's very nice. But you got to invert it, and then it makes that like that. I don't know if you can hear it. We'll get closer to the speaker.
Yeah, you can hear it bubbling and sucking.
But I got to say, it tastes better than most of that crap that they're going to sell you. And what's nice about it is that the water inside is not flavored. So you really don't have to worry about cleaning the bottle itself, because the bottle itself is always getting clean water if that's what you're drinking. If you're not drinking clean water, get yourself a pure pitcher or something along those lines. And when you change it out, you change out this piece.
Can you tell how much is left in here?
No, you can't tell.
No, you can't. Like if you go like with the lotion or whatever.
No,
you can't see like there's a level. Oh.
No, and you set the flavor intensity. 1, you barely taste it. 2, you kind of taste it. I find 3.
3 is the best.
It's the best. 6 makes me want to puke.
I never tried the higher.
Oh, I tried 5, and it was like. I think Shannon did 6. I think she gagged.
Yeah.
So,
I think she put it to 9 for her mom.
Yeah. Mr. Dunn wants to know if it's Con Ed or Alexa turning off our lights.
Oh no, that's Alexa.
It's Alexa. I did try one year the Con Ed smart plug system attached to your Wi-Fi with times of power draw that could turn off your devices like your AC. Yeah.
Mr. Gunn's somewhere from here. He knows
Con
Ed.
We can't Con Edison. Con Edison that can con you every effing day. Was this a soda? No, we have SodaStream. I've had a SodaStream for one type or another for years, and we like our seltzers. Certainly. Actually, one of the things that I'll do if I have I had my injection today. Why am I going for my arm? I have to do it by my belly. I had my injection today of Mounjaro, which means that probably sometime tomorrow or Tuesday, I will get those bits of nausea in the background. What I find works very well for that is we have a ginger syrup, which uses real ginger. And I will use a serving of that.
Yeah, with the
SodaStream.
SodaStream, like a clear seltzer.
Yeah.
We make
unflavored seltzer. And that is amazing at calming your stomach down and getting rid of that nausea. It's why when we drive, I always have mints in the car. Mm-hmm. If I don't have mints in the car, it's like I go into panic mode. Because
what are we gonna do? Yeah,
and most of my mints are caffeine mints. I understand that. I don't sit around all day drinking coffee. I'm not one of those people. But give me 2 wintergreen mints with half a shot of caffeine each, and then I'll be. I steady my nerves. Italian sodas are yummy. Yes, they are. And yeast infections bad. Yes, they are. And when I first it was Jardiance. It's the same thing as Forziger, essentially. And Jardiance, by the way, when we were watching Picard season 3, and I can't recommend seasons 1 or 2. Well, I can't recommend season 1 because I only saw first half. And season 2, we never bothered to watch because we never finished season 1. But season 3 of Picard,
very sweet.
Very good. So Jardiance, we saw a Jardiance commercial, and it wasn't aimed at diabetics.
Right. It was aimed for heart failure.
And I was like, holy shit. Now, I've known about that since I first got put on Jardiance.
Because they were able to renew the patent
Oh,
so that for another 5 years.
So the patent now.
So that in the way, like, okay, we're at year 4. Now we need to apply for other usages of it so that we can keep the patent going.
Because they were already doing studies on this prior, and
yeah,
I had a discussion with that with my heart failure specialist early on, and I was able to tell him that I'd read the summaries of the studies, and he was impressed. But you have to know what goes on, what you're putting into your body, and have an idea. Just don't take things on plain faith. So what Cirkul does, going back to Cirkul, thank you, Grandma, is Cirkul is a flavor filter, I guess. So the water in your bottle.
I don't know, is it even a filter? It's just like a flavor pack.
Well, but you have to suck water through it. So your water in your bottle is unflavored. This is pure.
But I don't think it's cleaning anything out.
No.
Okay.
But it is giving your water flavor without flavoring the water in the bottle. The flavor doesn't come in until it hits this tube-like substance. So I have pure New York City tap water. So
the best in the world.
Well, the best municipal tap water probably in the nation. But we'll see how long that lasts. But don't jinx it. They got a lot of different flavors. You're gonna find ones that you like, find ones that you don't like. But Walmart is the place to buy this. And I'm not doing this because I like Walmart. I'm doing this because Walmart was 30% cheaper, 33% cheaper than Amazon. That's significant savings.
And how much were the cartridge?
I think they were $3.50.
Yeah, and that's not so bad because it can last you 6 or 7 fills.
Yeah, depending on how strong you flavor it. If you go for if 2 makes you happy, you can probably get 8 or 9 full bottles out of a flavor thing. Mr. Gunn, did you ever follow up on the CPAP for your congestive heart failure? No, I have not, and I don't really see a need to. I think.
They didn't seem to recommend following up and push. Nobody pushed back. Against the insurance company.
Yeah,
right. You mean the life vest with the
CPAP.
Oh,
CPAP.
for sleep, for sleep apnea.
I know a lot of people.
No, you know why? Because you're not in primary care. You got to be in primary care so that they can put it for you.
But not only that, and I know a number of people.
I don't know. Maybe not even. I don't know.
I don't think. No, none of my cardiologists have recommended me getting a CPAP for my congestive heart failure. Honestly, and I do have friends that do sleep with it. I think most of the random party on every other Friday night has a CPAP machine.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's like it's like hold my beer, let me get my CPAP. No, if we all slept in the same hotel room, we'd probably they'd probably blow a fuse for the hotel because we're drawing too much power. But they've been overall very happy with them. I just haven't seen a need. I can.
Nobody brought it as a recommendation to you in managing it?
No.
Okay.
And I generally get 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night. More when I have COVID. When I have COVID, I could get 9 to 10 hours of sleep at night. Now I will.
It's something to ask about and explore. How could it help?
I mean, I have noticed that when I have the congestion going, the quality of my sleep, the deep sleep.
Yes.
Because not much deep sleep. Last night, sleeping in this recliner, I had a stretch with 3 hours of deep sleep. When I see more solid blue than black on my sleep app, I'm like, what the hell is that? I apparently had a lot of deep sleep. Oh yes, that's a Fiji.
I know.
It's a Fiji.
Shannon gave it to me.
Yeah. I thought she gave it to me.
No, to me.
Me. It's not carbonated, Don. It's actually straight up water.
Yeah. Sorry. So ADD right now.
My wife does not have ADHD. Well, or she might, but we're not going to tell anybody. You don't drink New York City tap water. It is one of the finest in the world. Yes, I mean, listen, like I love the water up in the Poconos because it comes from the well is directly across the street from our house. We know the water's coming from, and it is extremely cold out of the tap, 12 months a year. However, it's it's got a different. It used to be that it used to give my family gas, but now they're treating it so I guess there's natural minerals that aren't in there anymore or whatever was causing that. I don't know. But New York City tap water is reservoir water. It is really good. Now, it doesn't mean that all parts of New York City have great water. If you live out in like Broad Channel,
Wait, Broad Channel?
Broad Channel, I believe, has well water, which is going to be pretty shitty well water.
How would they have well water? It's
so
like
close to the ocean.
island.
Yeah, I know.
I think of well water more inland.
Yeah, it's kind of like now my sister, our niece, my brother-in-law, their water out in Nassau County.
Nassau water is trash.
I mean, we had to do research to find them a water filtration system that was affordable that would take out the impurities. And it's not easy to find. I think it was Zero Water? I think Zero Water is what we finally found. Other than that, it was like install an $800 water filtration system that you'd have to maintain once a year for another $400. It was like, you got to be out of your mind. But water is the bedrock of life to some extent, and if your water isn't good for you, you put yourself in a bad spot. TXG been drinking tap water down in South Florida since I was a kid, at least till the incident. The city knew that there was poo in the water for 3 weeks and didn't tell anyone.
Oh my god!
No, that's good.
And isn't that on with poo? So many viral. There are certain viruses that are how do you say transmitted through like
fecal matter,
fecal to oral, or
just you don't want to be ingesting anybody's fecal matter.
No.
So
like Hep A or something,
I switched to bottled water, less nutty. Did you see peanuts and corn floating in your water? Then you may have a problem. I'm sorry, Rach. I just had to go there. TXG, it wasn't taken well when the news came out.
Yeah, I would lose all trust in my
I'd be like,
government institutions.
What the fuck are you talking about? Mr. Gunn Picard, aka Retirement Trek. Yes. Oh my god, it was like a geriatric Next Generation.
It was so
but it was very well done. The characters were true to their characters.
Yeah.
And they
gave like all these special geeky things, like
yes.
Things that I don't get. Like say I remember the the main characters in the thing, and like he'd be going, "Oh, well, there's so and so." I'm like, "Who's that? What does that mean?"
Yep.
So like there are a lot of treats for people who are really, really into it.
Yeah. Mr. Gunn, New York City tap water comes from upstate New York and is some of the finest in the U.S. I'll put it this way. The New York City reservoir system has its own police department.
Does it?
Yes. The New York City, I used to call it the Watershed Police, but they're part of the Department of Environmental Protection.
Oh.
And there was a big brouhaha about 20 years ago because they started. Now, they don't get paid as much as NYPD. They're actually an underpaid police department for the work that they do. So they started doing traffic stops and pulling people over. And people were, there was a lawsuit filed claiming that they did not have jurisdiction to pull people over unless you were directly on a reservoir because of their limited jurisdiction.
Oh.
But then it was declared that they are a police department, and they were wanted it was a police department, and therefore their jurisdiction was anywhere in the state that they could drive to a reservoir from. So it was. So yeah, I've met a few during my my ears on. It's again, it's only I think it's 100, maybe it's 100, 105 of them.
Really?
Yeah, and but their job is to protect New York City's reservoir water, drinking
Mm.
water. Mr. Gunn, I have sleep apnea and was told without the CPAP I would get congestive heart failure. Oh, that's it's interesting.
Okay.
Listen, my congestive heart failure has everything to do with my Hodgkin's, and not so much the fact that I had Hodgkin's. Oh my God, 16 years ago. I guess that's right.
Mhm.
Yeah, something like that. It's not so much that I had Hodgkin's; it was a treatment for Hodgkin's. Hodgkin's has two treatments. You have chemo, and chemo is a batch of four poisons, one of which damages the heart, one of which damages the lungs. So before you can even start chemo, you have to get your heart checked. You got to get your lungs checked. So and especially when I had my initial Hodgkin's, I had a tumor in my chest that was up against one of my lungs. My lung capacity sucked, but they were able to determine why that was. And once the tumor was inert and shrunk, my lung capacity came right back up. So, but again, one poison could damage the heart, and then the radiation. And the radiation for me, um, I had three tumors, two in the chest. I think it was hacky sack, softball slash grapefruit size. No, sorry, tennis ball, grapefruit slash softball, and the hacky sack was right here
Yeah.
against, actually right here against my clavicle. So when I got radiation, pinpoint radiation just meant that I got it from here down and then across my chest. So I got the stenosis in the shoulder from it. Okay. But I also got heart damage from it. Okay. That's just, you know, as I was told by my my chemotherapist, my main doc initially when I had my cancer, and he recommended I see a radiation specialist. And I was like, well, I reacted too well to the chemo that we went an extra month, an extra 2 rounds of chemo
Hmm.
because I was handling it well. And he goes, well, we want to make sure. And then I talked to the radiation doc, and he was honest. He said, there are chances for secondary cancers down the line. There are other complications that can come up. And what do? Well, you're at that moment, you got to say what I said to myself is I have to make the decision that's right for now and hope over the next 10, 15, 20 years, medical science improves enough that it can get ahead of whatever other problems
Hmm.
crop up. Well, congestive heart failure was what cropped up from that. Again, I'm not actively in that situation of congestive heart failure. Could I get there through bad eating and lack of exercise? Oh, I'm sure if I put my head to it, I could. I put my head to doing Gamers Health with Rach because I want to make sure I maintain the motivation of leading a healthy life and keeping my blood sugar under control and getting my heart stronger. And it's part of my nightly prayers, you know. But you've got to take the actions that are right for you. Like in your case, if you're being told that you have sleep apnea and sleep apnea
Lead
can
to
lead to congestive heart
congestive
failure,
heart failure.
dude, take whatever you can to
Yeah.
prevent that from
But I
happening.
think it's kind of interesting to open, to see what Dr. Rakovsky might say, like, oh, could that be something that would help keep certain things at bay? And, you know, uh, like, what are the benefits? And
Right.
if it has a benefit, then we get it, you know?
Mr. Gunn, it's not if you sleep, but quality of sleep. What was hurting my quality of sleep for a while was not the stenosis in this shoulder, but it's the lock in this shoulder. And
Yeah, he has some sort of rotator cuff
yeah,
problem, like he's got like a frozen shoulder.
so Rach works on this shoulder every night now. I try to put a heating pad on it at least a couple times a week, and it's been helping. So just that, this week with the congestion again, if Rach props me up in bed, the congestion is manageable, but then my shoulder pain is not.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why sleeping in a recliner last night was the solution. And I put the heating pad underneath my shoulders because who needs a blanket when you can have a heating pad? And then you can I don't know, heat up and sweat and be cold at the same time. TXG, where I live, you can smell the chlorine in the water at times.
Yeah.
It might as well be a swimming pool. Okay, listening, RPG Grandma, listening and can't chat for a bit. I am on well water, by the way.
Yeah, I was raised on well water where we lived in Connecticut, and that was good.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, the water, it's municipal water up in the Poconos, but literally the pump house is across the street
Each
from my parents.
property in Connecticut had its own well. Yeah.
Well, if you were buying property,
not in all places in Connecticut,
right.
I mean, just in the town that I was.
Right. Well, if we went outside of the physical town and into like Palmyra,
I see. Then you'd have to have a well dug.
Right. Or you'd have a well, but you'd have to have a perk test done when we're looking at buying property. All these little things.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Gunn, plumbing is the second greatest innovation on mankind, just after fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as you got a great thing about good plumbing, also means things like good sanitation, right?
And healthy food. And,
yeah.
It helps your food be healthy
Joe, Mr. Greyhawk Grognard, welcome. Hold on. Mr. Gunn, the New York Water Police freeze and step away from the banks of the reservoir. Now, Sully, put down that bucket. Son, don't you know water theft is serious crime? I believe that you cannot fish in the reservoirs
I don't think so.
with bait. You can use lures.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but you can't use bait. I believe that's how it works.
And you can't swim in it.
No. Mr. Gunn, and I know you had cancer. You were a hot boy, cancer, diabetes, smoker. Never smoked. Not even a puff.
I smoked for years.
Yeah, my mother was a smoker when I was a kid. I detested it. So I've never smoked a cigar, never smoked a doobie, never smoked a cigarette or a cigarello or any of that. I was always like, yeah. And you didn't have to. It wasn't like, how do you say no? I was just like,
nope,
ain't happening. Joe, in the middle of a heart scare right now. Shit, as a matter of fact, in a hospital for observation.
Oh my God,
Joe, I'm sorry to hear that, man. It is a scary moment. Hopefully, we can add a little levity to what is obviously a stressful situation. I don't know what to say, man. I've been there.
And let your wife know. Let your partner know.
Yeah.
She's among good company, and she can feel free to reach out to
Joe. You know how to contact me. Literally anything you or your family needs, reach out. Okay. We have been through this, obviously, and support is one of the most helpful things that you or your family can get if needed. My third hospitalization in 2020 was the one where they found out I had the blocked
carotid
right around. I used to be able to. I think I can actually see it because
you can see it under your skin.
Yeah, I think.
Hey, can you see mine? Because my skin's basically transparent.
No, I think my blocked one sticks out. It just sticks out a little bit. It's like a little.
What do you mean? There's a divot?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah. So I believe that the one that's a divot, the one that sticks out, is a. So if you're gonna cut my throat, that's where to go because it's already blocked. Just make sure you get.
Don't even.
I'm trying to add a little levity to the situation.
No.
I know it's a morbid levity, but I was a cop for 20 years.
Yeah, I know. Gallows.
You know, gallows. Come on, we go beyond the gallows. We go right. We go from gallows to the privy, and then again. Come on, we go all over the place. TXG. My left hip locks up on occasion. I have arthritis in my spine and hip.
Yeah, me too.
Depending on how sedentary I am or the weather, I can be very good or very bad.
Yes, you have to keep moving to keep it moving.
Yeah,
and lessen the pain.
that's kind of
Like winters used to be so we're so bad. I mean, we're so lucky this winter.
Yeah, it was like
weather-wise, but in previous winters, it was really uncomfortable. And then I'm just glad I started to move around more and take exercise. And work on just stuff to help.
Joe is waiting on more tests.
Oh.
Like I know what it is like. Hopefully the staff where you are at. When I was at Elmhurst Hospital, bedside manner was not really part of the prerequisite for getting a job at the hospital. I don't even know if I saw a doctor before I got actually released. Once I got into the hospital, I would see an occasional nurse. They were looking at my. They thought I was COVID positive. They wanted nothing to deal with me. St. Francis, when I got there for my heart, I had 2 specialists.
Yeah, you were in that crazy room behind the nursing station.
Yeah, it was a nice. It was like a temporary ICU room that was converted.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was bizarre. But when I got to St. Francis with congestive heart failure, I get to the ER because my cardiologist called ahead of time that I was coming, and I had 2 specialists waiting there, and I didn't click until like weeks later. But one was my heart failure specialist that I see once a year now, who's like just on top of everything, really.
And one was the surgeon.
And one was my surgeon. They saw me from the ER until my discharge. They were on top of shit, and that is God a blessing. Oh, by the way, Rach, St. Francis Cardiac is listed as one of the top 15 hospitals in New York State when it comes to safety.
Yeah, I would bet.
And when they say safety, they mean not getting some kind of like contagious disease that's floating around the hospital. So
probably every other metric that goes into safety too.
So
they probably have a ton of metrics.
TXG, the water here is purified with ammonia and irritates the skin. Well, that's always that's always a positive.
Yeah, especially if you have sensitive skin.
Yeah, the weather impacts my right knee. That's I can tell a change in the weather, whether it's going from bad to good or good to bad. My right knee will get real tight. And
left.
I've had my hip lock up a handful of times, and it unlocks like right away. But you're like, oh, and get into panic mode. But yes, Joe, definitely prayers to whatever higher being we all in the end report to. So Tenkar's having, oh my God, calm down, son. TXG have to walk with a cane at times, not as much as I used to, but when I do, it's not pleasant to be around. I've been tempted with the cane, but usually it'll what?
I thought you were gonna talk about that cane.
What, your cane?
What do you mean? My stick?
Yeah, your stick. Oh, are you talking about?
I use that for exercises.
Yeah. Oh, are you talking about the fighting cane?
I was like, are you going to talk about the
I'm still interested in that
cane that you can just bollock people with?
All right, so not that I'm suggesting anything to anybody, but
what's the name of that company?
I have it down somewhere. I can look it up, but there are fighting canes, and when they call them fighting canes, it's not because they have like a knife attachment on the end.
And they usually have this very nice Southern older gentleman come out and show you the cane and all beautiful woodworking. And
they're very solid pieces of art, really. But they are also in the right hands.
Each one is unique.
They are lethal weapons. If you get a right one, you have to get a size for you. But because of the American Disability Act, right? The
Yeah, the
ADA,
ADA. You can fly with a cane.
you can fly with a cane.
Yeah.
You can be armed. You can't fly with a knife, but you can fly with a cane. And if I have to engage somebody, I'd rather have the length of the cane to keep them away from me than have to get them in close enough to use a knife. Personally. So, Joe, everyone here has been super nice. I've seen 3 different doctors already.
Good.
Well, God bless. I mean, and that's a sign of being in a good hospital. I mean, Elmhurst didn't turn good until they were kicking me out, and then they were apologetic, and I was just like, really?
They're like, okay, the real onslaught is coming, so we got to get rid of you.
Yeah, it's like we don't even have your test back yet. You could be COVID, but we don't think you're COVID. Get the fuck out. You know?
That was always Elmhurst. That was like, you got to get out. You got to go fast.
That's what St. Francis. We'll keep you for days on end until we get approval for your life vest. I'm enjoying my vacation, and that's listen. You know you're in a good hospital when you're talking to people and you go, "Yeah, vacation hasn't been bad. You know, we got good food." And like you're in the hospital. Oh yeah, I forget. I mean, if I'd been able to go outdoors, it would have been a vacation. Just that, you know. You had like a roommate that was annoying sometimes. I had one annoying roommate. Oh my God. And I also had one that was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't stay long. But it was best when I had no roommate, when I was still trying to fill up the COVID-free wing.
Yes.
I was like, this is great. I don't have to share a room with anybody. I mean, I didn't have to share an Elmhurst either, but that was for a different reason. They thought I was
right. They thought you were.
They thought it was a plague catcher.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, we have patient 0. Like, how can I be patient 0? If you have to walk with a cane, make sure to get side somebody who knows how to do it, or search online on how to do it exactly. If you're gonna get a cane,
right, and there are different canes and different purposes. So, like, you walk differently with a cane to assist you with your gait than you walk with a cane. I don't need to walk with a cane yet for blindness, but there's a different technique to it for different, intentions of what you want to use it for.
Well, yeah, if you're blind, you're whacking people out of the way. Get away from me. See that? See now?
Nothing to see here.
I've got a blind man's cane. I'll just pretend I'm blind. Like, whack
hit him in the head.
Dude, I'm just gonna ride this up the back of your pants. Oh, Reggie. Sorry, I'm getting a little punch drunk. Now I'm gonna touch on something that was part of our splash, our visual for this, and that's what we're going to talk about a little bit is how to avoid clickbait. And what clickbait is open to discussion, because some people say clickbait is, oh well, I thought I was going to see something about, oh, I don't know, Donald Trump, and instead it's about how to clean bird cages with Donald Trump as the newspaper, headline. All right, you're clickbaiting somebody in, like you're lying to them. That's generally how.
Oh, yeah, clickbait means it's a deceitful headline.
Yeah, that's always that's how I always interpreted clickbait. Clickbait is you're giving out a falsehood, or you're making something that is intentionally misleading in order to get people to click on it. We don't see that too often in gaming videos, honestly, but you do see that in other stuff, especially ones. But gaming, listen, we're not really driven by the motivation of making money off our videos, because $2 to $3 a day is not a motivation for me to fuck with my community. It just isn't. I never felt like that. And yes, Joe, I need to stop eating those Chinese bats. Bat soup. Remember COVID came from the Chinese bats?
Oh, yes, from the wet market.
Yes.
After it leaked out.
And RPG Grandma, I'm back. My job's water is suspect. It was contaminated for years from a military base near it. And a few years ago, that water company had purple water running out of the faucets.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
That's insane. But
what's making it? See, all this Flint stuff, all this, like the pipes are rusting out, and they have to put this chemical in to keep the pipe from rusting out, and then nobody can never drink it again.
Well, yeah, we used to have that issue with
Mhm.
New York City water. But it was an additive to basically seal the lead pipes that part of the system. So they were putting an additive that would slowly coat the lead pipes, and that was coating our toilet for a while.
Oh, was that red stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Gunn, Matt Mercer is nerd clickbait. But really, is he? I mean, yes, if people want to watch the indie stuff and they like Matt Mercer, they're going to go for it. But if the Matt Mercer clickbait would be me making a video saying Matt Mercer reveals all, and then it's like, you go in and like, where's the Matt Mercer shit, and then you throw something in at the end. Oh, and Matt Mercer revealed that all he likes to eat is Pop Tarts in the morning. He does, or whatever it is. That is baiting somebody in for a topic that is not true.
So
not
what would
right.
the headline be? Matt Mercer bears his soul. And
Bears
then it's
his
just he likes Pop Tarts in the
morning.
morning.
Up at your grandma. Nothing to see. We don't know why, and it's safe enough. We just don't know why. It's purple.
Wow.
Grape soda on tap. Yeah, knee high. Add some carbonation.
Oh,
I deal
no.
with users all the time clicking on things they shouldn't, whether it's an SMS attachment on their phone or a link on Facebook. I worked with a sergeant who, clicking on something online, she virtually shut down IEB's computer use for about 8 hours.
Really?
I'm
Was
not.
this your
Yeah, this is my
counterpart?
nemesis
Mhm.
slash best friend, bestie after a while.
Mhm.
Because she clicked on, and she insisted she didn't, and then it was something that was from her AOL email account.
Oh, and that was old even
Yeah, it was that.
then.
So, but that again, when people worried about clickbait, and the comments I've seen, there was one directed at Dan Masters, Professor DM. It's like, oh, I over go to your channel and all I see is stuff about Watsy and how they're fucking up, and I'm tired of reading about this and saying this. And he pointed out that
Well, then tell Watson to stop it.
out of his last 20 videos, he had 3 videos about Watsy.
Mm.
15%. Not everything, not half, not a third, not a fifth. All right. So now, obviously, I cover on other days, I cover events. We're not doing live streams, we're covering news events. And Watsy likes to keep themselves in a news cycle. I don't know why, but they're going to get mentioned. If you don't like a topic, why are you clicking on it? And then why are you bitching about it? It's like, oh, I see this all the time. I see all these.
Well, it's not like he's trying to, do that deceptive thing.
Well,
I think you know
no.
pretty well what
No,
you're gonna see.
but people are complaining because they're seeing stuff on their feeds, usually in Facebook or Twitter, that upsets them because, in this case, they are likely Wizards of the Coast fanboys, and they accuse anybody who's covering Wizards of the Coast fuck ups as doing it for the clicks, for that mad money. Mad money.
Whatever.
Joe could tell you that we're not making mad money off of any of these videos. It's not happening, folks. We do what we do because we enjoy doing it. The money that I've made from this channel has bought a Bad Mic a headset that was decent and Glenn Hallstrom a decent microphone. All right, and I try to take care of people in my circle who are my co-hosts who might need equipment. Well, you know what? If I can get it with the monies that come from this channel, it goes back to where it's going to make the channel better. That's what I'm looking for. I don't even have to, I've got 2,849 subscribers. I'm not making mad money. It is, none of us are. We're not Matt Mercers. Okay. But we are, if I'm a channel that stays on top of current events in the gaming industry, Watsy keeps themselves very currently relevant. God only knows why. They like to do that. RPG Grandma, we keep popping for blood in their urine if you drink Works water, but if you don't get that, one guy had kidney failure. All he did was switch water and he recovered.
Oh my God.
Wow. There's a difference between popular topic and clickbait. That is right, Joe. But here's the thing. If you say that you don't like these Watsi videos, but you click on them out of morbid curiosity, what does Facebook do? Oh, well, you like videos about Watsi.
Oh yes, they're gonna bombard you.
The algorithm is gonna pick that up. Now, if you ignore, even if you go on to, I post a video about Watsi. You go on to, it's just for reals, man. You go on to like, I don't know, 2 Facebook groups and the main feed to copy and paste the same post, your same comment, that you're tired of these Watsi clickbait videos and posts and can't people move along and talk about something else. Guess what you just did? You ensured that Facebook will put all this fucking shit in front of you, front and center. That's what it does. If you don't like it, ignore it, and before you know it, it doesn't show up in your feed. It's not part of your concern.
You gotta change the algorithm.
You got to change the algorithm, exactly. But people are. Listen, I can look at my videos on Watsi. I'm going to do it right now, out of curiosity.
Do they see this right now?
No, but I can actually show it.
Oh,
I can actually show it. You got a good idea, Rach. I'm going to show this, and I'm going to present this because I think it's interesting. So, why Watsi screw ups are on every gaming YouTube channel? 105 likes, 1 dislike, 99.1%. Hasbro paid to nominate itself as most ethical company. 53 likes, no dislikes. Hasbro removed Jeff Bezos' signature, which apparently the article that I pulled this from
that's
now
foul.
is, well, that's probably Paramount or the whichever distribution company it was.
Mm-hmm.
502 likes, 12 dislikes. Watsi looking for director of strategic response communication. 100% likes, 78%, 78 likes, no dislikes. So what does that tell me? Well, it tells me that I'm covering what my readers, my viewers want to be covered. It doesn't tell me that I shouldn't be covering this because 1 or 2 loud, generally I'm going to call them jackasses because they believe that they should overrule 99% of people who like the content because they don't want the content because it's hurting a company that they feel should not be hurt. Listen, Wizards of the Coast, all people are
Nobody
doing.
wants to see them hurt. I mean,
but listen, I'm not making stuff up about Watsi.
right?
Is Watsi looking to hire a strategic response director for $150,000 to $250,000 a year? Somebody who can tell creative stories, basically. I mean, hey, if I got paid
Like,
for
what is that? Is that like a crisis intervention specialist for
Watsi
for mess ups in
Yes.
marketing?
Yes.
Oh my god,
That's essentially what it is. Okay. Now I point that. Listen, if you don't want to watch something about that, don't bother. Nobody is being forced to watch any video at gunpoint. You will watch. Wait, I don't know if I do this, YouTube might like demonetize the channel because he put a fake gun to his. If here, I'm going to do it like here, I'm going to point up like this. If I took this finger and said, "You better do it. You better watch those videos," and this finger was loaded, you know what? Maybe you have some point, but nobody's doing that. Okay, everybody has their own free will to do as they will, and just because something. You feel like these are like those influencers who wanted to get like I need health services because people are mad at Watsi and I'm getting it.
Oh yeah, those poor people that were like putting themselves in a situation where people would ridicule them.
Yep.
And they needed mental health behind that.
We're taking the slings and arrows that were due for Watsi because we're saying nice things about them.
So can you hire a strategic response?
Yeah,
a crisis interventionist?
Yeah, we need
your marketing mistakes because we can't do this anymore.
Yeah, we need a professional gaslighter. Watsi, can you create a position for a professional gaslighter? I mean, that's combat pay they're giving that guy or gal. You
Yeah.
know. Thank you, Don. I appreciate it. Listen, I always look to see, hey, is there pushback on a video, and if there is, what did I do wrong? Because I want to. I'm never going to please
Right, and it's
everybody.
what are people responding to? What's upsetting about that, and what's going on in our corner of the universe that people are feeling upset about that, and what do you do with it, and how
Right.
do you bring it, create space for that, and deal with it as a community.
You know, Wizards of the Coast set themselves up for the negative attention, and they keep on finding a way to continue getting negative attention. I'd be very happy to turn This Week in Watching Stupid back to This Week in Gaming Stupid, and let other companies step up and do stupid shit. All right, I Watchy just seems to want to walk away with a prize every week. It's like the Marvel No prize that they're always going to win. That's not my fault. It's not Joe's fault. It's not Dan Master's fault. It's the fault of Watchy. And the other thing is, and let's be honest, people in general have short memories. So if somebody does not remind you about the bad actors in our community, people like Gareth Skarka, whose Kickstarter is been unfulfilled for nearly as long as Rach and I have been married. Ken Whitman, right? If people forget how Ken skunked people. I'm gonna use skunked because it's an ill-defined word in this case. Skunked people out of their hard-earned funds on multiple Kickstarters. Then the next time he comes around with his handout, if people forgotten, then you're going to be set up to fail. I am not going to allow individuals like that to set people up to fail. Now, Ken says he's turning over a new leaf. Emailed me his phone number. I should text him, call him.
Have you heard anything since?
Yeah, follow up, and then I didn't hear anything since. And I'm not looking. Listen, Ken is looking to do what.
He's not trying to make amends with the community.
Ken is looking to go through Tenkar and have Tenkar's blessing, or at least the appearance that Tenkar will help legitimize him. This channel, me and Bad Mike, would help legitimize him. Hey, they had me on their show. I opened up my heart. I said, yeah, I fucked things up, but I'm better now. And he's
well, we'd have to really have somebody
professional
on asking some good questions.
He wouldn't answer them,
especially about amends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can
if
really,
indeed that's what he wants.
All right, you can really mess up your feed on social media because AI is a moron. We know that on the TV set behind us, we have YouTube on 90% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we have it on somewhere that I pay for YouTube Premium to get no commercials and just watch videos. And when we started watching like some court TV about sovereign citizens, and we
very entertaining.
All we got then was, and then we were getting
more sovereign citizen stuff.
Yeah, and then we're getting more court TV stuff because and I'm getting now less things on tiny homes, less things on gaming, certain things like
it's so interesting how they just kind of isolate your interest.
Yeah, Peter Santinello, who always had some really great videos.
Oh my god, that guy in
and he pushed them off our.
Yeah, we have to start watching, looking for him again because
you got to push him back on the first page.
Find that guy who's going to all those toe-up countries.
Oh yeah, Kurt.
Kurt. Yeah, there was Kurt, but he wasn't going to places that were so bad. Just like a lot of different places.
Kurt
there was
Haiti.
Another guy.
Did Kurt went to Haiti?
No, I don't think his name is Kurt. I think his name is Nick.
No, I think that was.
No, I think his name is
that's the
Nick.
That's the South African.
New Zealand.
No, it was the South African guy.
There's two different dudes. There's Kurt, who's South African. He goes to like all the different places, but he goes like way off the beaten path. But then there's Nick, who goes like he's often like sponsored by like Oxfam or UNICEF.
All right, we're gonna have to. By the way, I hear our kitty behind my chair. That's our
Yeah.
kid. I saw her there last night. I was like, "What the hell are you doing there?"
She's been in there for days.
Yep. TXG, keep in mind though that AI is in infancy, that someone has done a proof of concept showing that AI could convince someone to click on a link and navigate one of the I am not a robot challenges. Okay. I am not a replicant. RPG Grandma, because I think I had a bot in my live chat once. Well, we had a troll on ours last week, right?
Well, we get a lot of trolls.
We get a lot of trolls.
A lot of trifling trolls.
A lot of trolls, but they all seem to have something in common. Can't quite put my finger on it. Don't like content, move on and watch something else. Exactly. Yes. And that's what why bitch and complain that I don't like this. And I've seen people go, I really hate to see that Tenkar has resorted to using clickbait and bashing Watsy for his views. Well, all right. So I had one person on Facebook that literally said that. I think that was today or yesterday. And I look at my views, and it's not. If I was looking at something and my ratio was 90%, which means that for every 90 thumbs up, I'm getting 10 thumbs down. That to me is a failure. All right, that means I'm doing something wrong. Why am I getting so much negative pushback on it? What is it? The topic? Is it how I approached it? Is it how my point of view came across? I will analyze.
And then you hope people leave comments so that you get clued in.
Right, but no. I'm getting generally 97 now makes me wonder what's going on. But if I'm at 99, 100, obviously then maybe you didn't even watch it. Right? You didn't watch the video in question. You're commenting on it on Facebook. But if you watched the video and didn't like it, you would have given it a thumbs down. I mean, I always assume that I'm guaranteed one thumbs down by one individual who thinks I works for Watsy. But then again, I trash Watsy. But in any case, I always expect that individual to give me a thumbs down. And I'm not even getting it from there. So I don't know. I really get these. And again, the idea that people like Joe and I and even Dan are getting rich off of clicks on YouTube. Not if you could buy my soul for less than $3 a day. Wow, that's a sad world. I don't doubt you'll see AI used to upvote and downvote content. In some ways, this would be an effective to social engineer the populace. But it's hard. It's interesting. But remember, YouTube hides the downvotes now. I can see it, and then if you get a plugin, you can see it. But by default, you don't see when a ratio is happening. You don't see it. So that kind of makes that upvote, downvote thing less important. And it certainly doesn't affect, you could send a mob of bots to ratio a small channel, but in a large channel, you'd have to really have a bot or bot army. Oh, excuse me. The new position is for Wizards of the Coast Chief Dick Washer. There we go. They keep stepping on it, so they need someone to clean it off. I'd like to be a cod piece at Wizards of the Coast, please. I'd like to be that the jockstrap, the cup. That's the position I need. RPG Grandma, Wizards of the Coast, current upper management staff doesn't understand customer base any more than Budweiser or that Dutch company that owns them. Yeah. And, there comes a point, especially with these mega corporations, that they lose the idea of why did we buy this smaller company in the first place? And we made it part of us, right? And and then InBev owns Anheuser-Busch, and Anheuser-Busch owns all these other companies in the United States that are under the Anheuser-Busch umbrella. And I remember like when I think Blue Moon is part of it now too, but
no, I don't think so.
Oh no, you're right, it wasn't.
You mean Blue Point?
Blue Point
out in Suffolk.
Blue Point, which I actually went to their brewery. Oh my God, 10 years ago. good beer,
Mhm.
local, and now they're part of a conglomerate, and it's
I
being brewed all
love
over the
that
place.
blueberry one. That was so
Yeah, it was a
nice.
very blueberry without more of the essence of blueberry. So, Joe Block waiting for Watsy to buy an orphanage and kick the kids out. Well, do we have any orphanages left? You know, come on. It's like,
Yeah, it's really foster care now.
yeah.
Oh gosh.
Besides short memories, people want to trust.
Mm.
Yes. All right. So that's, and I'll be honest with you. Um, another reason why I love doing these Saturday shows is, as somebody else pointed out a couple months ago, I enjoy watching Tenkar on his videos and his live streams, but on Saturday I get to see Eric. I like the fact that you can make that connection. You can see me, and you can. I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass. I'm not here to do anything like that. I'm here to keep you current in things that are newsworthy. Bring special guests on, talk about gamers' health. Me and Glenn on Friday nights, it's just like hanging out in the bar with a bunch of friends. Really is. Our show prep is, you got your mic working? You have to you have the grandkids locked down. All right, let's go in. We just jump in. Minimal show prep. But which reminds me, next week we've got two very big live streams. Wednesday night we've got Kelsey. Yes, I'm gonna say Casey. That's Casey.
Kelsey.
Casey is our Casey.
Yeah.
This is Kelsey Shadow Dark. She will be on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. with Mike and I. I expect a huge turnout in the live stream. I expect a lot of fun. She'll be at North Texas in June.
Oh, she's gonna go.
I believe she's a special guest. Yes.
Cool.
And then on Friday with the Random Party Generator, I will have to make a big announcement of this one too. Phil Reed, Steve Jackson Games. Phil is the master of the $1 Kickstarter. Phil's got a project going on right now. We're gonna have Phil as a special guest with. He'll be there with all the other game designers on the Random Party Generator night. So 2 big live streams next week. Then of course, whatever Rach and I bring to the table on Saturday, because we got to keep you all on your toes, right?
Oh yeah.
I can have Kent Whitman on with the lie detector. Yeah, all I gotta do is listen to Whit and go, yeah, no, you're bullshitting me. Oh God, what did he claim he was diagnosed with, Rach?
Was it called ETS? The footballer
It was a
concussive
syndrome.
like what is it called?
I figure I have
and
to
not
look
post concussive syndrome because that ends
right. No, he had
but this one it was yeah, I think it's called ETS.
I listen, I can't remember exactly, but I had to look it up, and it was like it can only be diagnosed
upon death. Like this is the
autopsy.
Remember the what's their name? The Patriots? Hernandez?
Yes.
Was it Alex Hernandez?
Yeah, the one that was like
yes. So the family agreed to have an autopsy to be able to explore if there was ETS present.
So
and there was.
So Ken would be an interesting guest as long as everything you says you knew was probably less than truthful.
Yeah. Because he wasn't playing football like Alex Hernandez was playing football.
Mr. Gunn, us husbands are idiots. My wife always reminds me you should have listened to your wife. Then I have to hang my head in shame and say I should have listened to you.
Oh.
Listen, I have those moments. And the fact that you can say that.
We all do.
Well, yeah. But the fact that you can say that, it helps.
Yeah.
So we are at the 90-minute mark, Rach.
Oh my!
We're at the 90-minute mark. I think we're going to wrap it. Listen, I can't thank you all for the huge amount of support. It has been on some levels a stressful. God, Last 6 months have been stressful in its own special way,
Mhm.
but entertaining too. So I'm hoping that before the summer hits, well, no, summer's going to be here really soon. Well, summer's like June, right?
June 21st.
Right by
Yeah, the solstice.
your birthday.
Mhm.
Well, you're not 79, right?
No.
Okay, I was just checking. I just had to make sure.
I have a few more happy returns before
A
that.
few more decades. But hopefully, we have some celebrating going on around the summer solstice and around Rachel's birthday.
From your lips to God's ears.
So, and if we do, we are going to make sure we celebrate it on more than one live stream.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, on that note, as always, folks, because you all on the live stream make this what it is. Be safe, be well. God bless. Roll this dice, rolling well. Wednesday night, Friday night, 8 p.m. Kelsey from Shadow Dark, Phil Reed from Stu Jackson Games are our special guests. Man, we might have to do a special guest next Saturday just to keep the
special guest momentum going.
Yes.
Maybe you'll get one.
Joe Block, Greyhawk Rognard. You know how to reach me. Anything you need, anything your family needs. Listen, you're just outside the city.
Right. You are not far.
Right. I could drive out to the I could drive out to you and then go to my favorite McDonald's on Route 15. My P stop. But Joe, good luck. God bless. And yes, Z Wiki, you're coming just as I'm saying goodnight. You're gonna have to rewind this now, watch the rest of it, and then you can see yourself coming at the end and get berated. I don't berate anybody, but I'm just saying.
Only the trolls.
Only the trolls, and they berate themselves.
Okay.
All right, folks. God bless. Good night. I'll have some video up tomorrow. Maybe not even Watsy. What are the odds of that? All right. Later, folks.
Take good care, guys.